Welcome back. Talk that shit. Hope y'all like the upgrades and we trying to get it there for y'all. You know what I mean? But we back. We back here talking about this Dr. Boyd guy. You know, I got hip to Dr. Boyd a week or two ago, and every time I find a clip of this dude, he's saying some outlandish shit. He's saying some shit that he ain't got no business saying because he speaks on the people that he don't understand because he's never been one of those dudes. Like, it's not hard to find the guy who grew up getting no vagina and started getting money and decided that his mouth was granted access by the amount in his account. What we're going to do right now is listen to this clip. I'm not going to watch the full video. But listen to Dr. Boyd speak on issues that he clearly has no understanding or comprehension of. Go for it, Dr. Boyd.
Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on?
Stop. Number one, I don't take guys, grown-ass men, serious who taste themselves before they start talking. Good morning, everyone. Go ahead, Dr. Boyd. Talk your shit.
I hope you guys are doing well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am on vacation today, so I am actually out back in the backyard doing this thing. But anyway, I wanted to come in and say hi to everybody, and I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a good day. And it's a good Sunday. It's a beautiful day. And I was working on some stuff, and I had a thought about something that I wanted to share with you guys that I'm hopeful will help some of you as you navigate this crazy world.
Run it back a little bit. Dr. Boyd, you told us you was in your backyard and on vacation. Like, who gives a shit, bro? That's. Go ahead, Dr. Boyd, while you're in the backyard on vacation, talking to yourself with your rolled down collar. Scott. I'm going to let him get to the meat.
World that you live in. I was talking to a single mom the other day about the backlash that you see from so many men who think that single mothers are a waste of time. I saw a guy on my Instagram page who I dare to call him a man because this was not a masculine way of thinking.
Dr. Boyd, you don't know nothing about this dude that you calling a boy. You don't know his life experience, where he come from, and you don't know his baby mom. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip the collar up on your turtleneck, and you're gonna put the cape underneath it, and then you tie it in a knot. That's how you keep the cape on, because it looks like you're about to do a lot of flying. Captain Saber, continue.
At all, but he literally said that men who get with women who have children are cleanup men. He called them cleanup men, like you're cleaning up after another man, or you're doing sloppy seconds, or there's something disgraceful about.
All right, this is probably the only part me and Dr. Boyd gonna agree on. That was some disrespectful shit. I know the avenue he was going when he said that, which in some cases can be true, but in a lot of cases they're not. So that was disrespect. But we're going to let Mr. Captain Cape.
Loving black kids, about being there for black children and black youth. And I just, for some reason, it made me think about that, right? And I don't know if he was taking a jab at me because, I married a woman who had kids. And
Dr. Boyce, we saw that video, bro. She was about to say no until she realized how much you was worth. Remember the video where you was in the friend zone? Dr. Boyce, come on, buddy. And don't talk about her having kids. This grown-ass man she got. Continue.
I wanted to give you another perspective on this. especially for the younger guys who are trying to figure out who they are and what they want to do. That's why I wanted to hit this topic. So anyway, let me know what city you're from. I see Justin and Fred, and my name is
Don't worry
Corey.
about
What's going
Justin
on
and
to you,
Fred.
brother?
Don't worry about
And
them.
Tony Brown, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Give me a yes if you can hear me okay. So here's what I wanted to try to address on this, right? First off, I want to say this. I want to make it clear. I always have to make this
Here
clear
he comes.
that I'm not advocating for anybody to make any particular relationship choice. I'm not
Oh, here he
telling
comes.
anybody what they should do or should not do. I don't think, every path is not the
That's always the setup before somebody says some bullshit. Go ahead, Dr. Boyce.
same for everybody. But one of the things that I really think that we've got to be real careful about is some of this shisty marketing of bad black relationships. You have guys, it's so fascinating to me. You have guys literally.
It's so fascinating to me. You know why it's fascinating, Dr. Boyce? Because you ain't lived this shit, stupid. The shit you go through that's traumatizing is not fascinating. It's only fascinating to those on the outside. It's the same reason white kids love rap music. Because they don't gotta live that shit. They buy up all the albums. They duplicate how we dress. They imitate how we talk, how we walk. Because they ain't gotta live that shit. Dr. Boyce and your fascination. You're fascinated with vagina too, ain't you, buddy? Continue.
Who were raised by a single mother who will say single mothers ain't shit. You know, like I get it if you say, look, I was raised by a single mother, it was very difficult.
Dr. Boyce knows that the context of the young men who are saying that are not referring to their mother. They're referring to this new generation of single mothers who, in all honesty, let's be honest, most of them ain't shit. They got their kids in the background of their dirty ass house on their dirty ass floor while they twerking and shit. Bitch can't cook top ramen. Go ahead, Dr. Boyce. Take it away.
I don't want my children to grow up in that situation, or I don't want to be in that situation. I get that. But when you're talking down on women that are similar to the women that raised you, that is indicative of a mental health issue. That means that you have a psychological problem, that you're.
Dr. Boyce, I don't know what kind of doctor you is. And I got my PhD and got ordained online. But I can tell you this, Dr. Boyce. You just said some bullshit. And you know you said some bullshit. It's a psychological problem. Maybe it's a thorough observation, Dr. Boyce. Scientists and doctors aren't that far off. Like, in a lot of cases, they're the same shit. Dr. Boyce, go ahead.
You're just sort of thrown out there on the internet. And the thing you got to watch out about internet influencers is a lot of them are very unhappy people. They don't have much of a life outside of their YouTube channel. Their relationships are in the garbage, but they sound good, right? And they feed into people's frustrations and their anger and their.
I like to point out that Dr. Boyce is still in the honeymoon stage of his marriage to the young lady who almost said no but realized how much money he was worth. Go ahead, Dr. Boyce.
Disappointment. Like a lot of men that complain about women all day are just mad because they shot their shot for a woman that they couldn't get.
Or, Dr. Boyce, they've been with a lot of women who didn't show them exactly who they were, and then once they got to know them and got in a long-term relationship, found out that the motherfucker was crazy. That could be it too, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna ask Dr. Boyce, because Dr. Boyce looked like he been tapping ass his whole life, doesn't he? Continue, Dr. Boyce.
They went after a girl that was outside of their pay grade, and they got mad, and they felt like they should have that woman when really you didn't earn it. She didn't see you as the best option, so now you're pissed at all women. And what I would say to men like that is, instead of complaining about the women you can't get, either step your game up or love the women that you can get.
See, this is what I'm saying about. Let me tell you who Dr. Boyce is. Fellas, y'all gonna feel me. Fellas who've been out here for a minute. We used to go meet up with a girl and she got her fat friend with her. and you playing with old girl, y'all joking and shit, and old girl say something jokingly like, no, stop that, and the fat girl who ain't getting no play, and your homeboy ignoring, he over there in the corner mad as fuck because you lied to him about what she looked like, and then the fat girl, you heard her, stop that, you need to treat her like a lady, that's why you ain't got no girl now. That's Dr. Boyce, man. Dr. Boyce is the fat friend of the girl. No, Dr. Boyce is the fat friend that's a dude of the girl that talks bad about you because in his heart, he really want to tap old girl, but he know he gonna get shot down. So all he do is talk bad about you and try to make you look bad so he can try to catch her at a vulnerable moment so he can get his little feel on, maybe a nipple rub up against his nipple. Because as you can see, Dr. Boyce got nipples and he probably sucking his own Continue, Dr. Boyce.
You know, this idea that somehow you want to say all black women do this, all black women do that, all black women
Nobody
have standards
says
that are too
all.
high, all black women are gold diggers. That's a little bit weird because, first of all, it's not true. All black women are not any one particular thing.
That's true.
But then also, it's kind of weird that you think that they're all gold diggers or their standards are too high when really you just could not meet the standard of the woman you wanted. It's not that her standards are too high. It's just that her standards are higher than you. Give me a yes if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not that her standards are too high. You just didn't meet the mark. And a lot of guys feel.
Is anybody else's stomach starting to hurt listening to this dude? This is why I tell you, beta males should never open their mouths in the presence of an alpha male. Alpha males can sniff this dude out 50 miles away. You're not even allowed in the circles of men who actually have balls and run their house. You know who else can sniff out people like Dr. Boyd? Hoes. Hoes can sniff him out 2 motherfucking states away. Dr. Boyce is a trick. Dr. Boyce is a sucker. There's ways to say, hey man, stall the women out. Stall some of the chicks out. All of them ain't like that. Without going on a rant and saying this nonsensical shit that he's saying. This is nothing but caping. Like God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha. I can't stand dudes like this. Go ahead. I can't take too much more. Continue, Dr. Boyd.
Resentful because of that, and it makes them sound like bitter little bitches when they get online. And so it's really kind of.
Whoa. See what I'm saying? I can promise you everything that I own that Dr. Boyd has never called another man a bitch to their face. Who in a bet? I can promise you that Dr. Boyd has never called a female a bitch to their face. Beta sucker Boyd. People listen to this nigga. I mean this guy. Excuse me. YouTube. I apologize. Continue, Dr. Boyd. Sucker. Beta.
Kind of crazy to me. But anyway, here's where I stand on the whole conversation about, stepfathers and all that. I'm biased because my biological father was not there for me. I had a father that stepped in and raised me, and he was a great man. He is a great man, and there were many benefits, I believe, to raising me. Right, it was very difficult.
There were no benefits.
He could have been out. He could have been out. Getting with 1,000 women, but he chose my mother, and he came home to us every day. And the long-term benefits is that now that he's older, he's got somebody there to take care of him. I paid off his house. I literally paid off he owed.
You see, do you understand the sucker shit I'm saying? Why is you telling people you paid off this man's house? Look at the face. Look at the joy and adulation that's on your face for telling the whole world that you paid off your daddy's house and that your mama taking care of him because he was out in the streets getting pussy because you don't get none. Look at your face, Dr. Boyd. You ought to be ashamed. There's nothing but beta suckerness oozing out of that gray beard. Continue, Dr. Boyd.
$100,000 or whatever on his house. I paid his house off. And what a lot of young guys should understand is that when you pour into black youth, they pour into you when you get older. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you pour into black children, they're going to pour into you.
Really
Now, you obviously, the ideal scenario is you get with a woman, you have kids with her, those are your kids, and you pour into those kids, and then they pour back into you when you get older.
Supposed to pour into the kids.
Unfortunately, life don't always work out like that.
That's true.
There's a lot of divorce. There's a lot of baby mama, baby daddy stuff, and all the guys that complain about single mothers. I mean, a lot of these guys got kids. They created a single mother, so you can't complain. If you created a single mother, but you're complaining about single mothers, then you don't have a dog.
Dr. Boyd just got married. I don't think Dr. Boyd's qualified to speak about divorce. I don't think Dr. Boyd's qualified to speak about creating a single parent. I don't think Dr. Boyd's qualified to speak on anything except for colonoscopies, or however you say that shit. Dr. Boyd, you're in way over your head, buddy. Only people agreeing with you is the single mamas that can't find a man. And no, it's not all their fault. Why are you not asking the single mothers, especially the ones with multiple baby fathers? Why? Because this is the thing where I can't save the single mother. I was raised by a single mother. I'm going to tell you what she didn't do. She didn't go get with a dude who was comparable to the dude that she had just left. Maybe a lot of them pick the same type of dudes and get the same type of results. And no, Dr. Boyd, if the vagina is presented to us, we're not turning it down, buddy. So you don't know nothing about that, though, Dr. Boyd. But I'm going to let you continue. Because the oxygen up there got to be getting real light. All that caping, buddy. Go ahead, Dr. Boyd.
Dog in the fight. You can't really talk about a problem that you helped create as if you had nothing to do with creating it, right? That's the first thing. Second of all, you have a lot of guys who complain about single mothers who were raised by a single mother. And I think that means that you're not being careful about that conversation. You can't express your own personal perspective without being disrespectful of all the women that are doing their absolute best based on circumstances that may have been out of their control. Again, I think that we all have some say in our own lives, but I think that generally, this sort of weird backlash is kind of a little bit too much. And I personally think guys who are smart should outgrow that. And really, I'm not even talking. I can't talk to every man about this because not every man's really going to understand what I'm talking about, But I would ultimately say this: that
this nigga, oh boy, I see why you sitting in the forest talking that shit, boy. Dr. Boyd, this some bitch shit. I'm not supposed to say that, Dr. Boyd. This is some highly estrogen-driven things you're saying here. You gotta relax, buddy. You're married now. You don't have to do this anymore. You can chill. I need to go look up his fan base. I bet it's like 85 to 90% women. Single mothers. Go ahead, Dr. Boyd.
That, I think that there was a guy who did a video. He's kind of like cross-eyed. He's got big glasses. He looks cross-eyed. He looks like Rick Ross a little bit. Anyway, he put a video up, and
is he talking about my dude? I know he ain't talking about my dude. Oh, go ahead. Oh, it's on.
Thumbnail. He pointed to me and said, "Proud stepdaddy," and that was almost like a correct thumbnail. In the sense that I am proud of where I am in my life, but I'm not a proud stepdaddy. I'm a proud father. I'm a proud bonus father. We don't use words like step in our house. And let me tell you something.
I'm going to tell you the words we don't use in my house. Because I, too, would be considered a stepdaddy. But guess what my daughter don't call me? She don't call me stepdaddy. She don't call me bonus daddy. She call me dad. You know why? Because I'm a dad. And dads do dad shit. And none of it's bonus. All of it's expected, just like the rest of them. Dr. Bonus, dad, boy, the beta, sucker. Continue.
I'm about raising black children. I am honored to raise black children. I love, being a supportive force in the lives of black children. Why? Well, because you can't love the black community if you don't care about the kids. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't say that you are pro-black when you don't give a shit about the kids that are out here that are struggling, that don't have the guidance of a father. This idea that you somehow will say these kids are worthless, they don't deserve your time, I think is crazy. Remember, there's a long history in the black community going all the way back to slavery of fathers stepping up when the children had no fathers. If you go back to slavery, when they sold the father away from the plantation, another man stepped in to be the.
That's enough of that. I can't do no more, Dr. Boyd. Listen, Dr. Boyd. From the beginning of time, men have hunted vagina, men have saw the vagina, and men have conquered the vagina. We've had to deal with many different personality types as we were on our journey looking for the vagina. So we know crazy women when we see them. And no, we're not going to raise their children if the woman is crazy. You haven't taken into consideration whether baby daddy is crazy, because it's a lot of them. You haven't considered the age of this child, because at a certain age, if the child is already stuck in his ways, might be a gangbanger, you don't want to deal with certain shit. Also, Dr. Boyd, you just started getting vagina. You weren't out there in the streets smashing all type of different flavors of things. So you're not equipped to even have these conversations. You were just in the friend zone. Dr. Boyd, go talk to the kids that grew up like you. The sheltered kids, the suckers, the ones that breath smelled like Similac until they grew facial hair or got their degrees. Leave the kids from the inner city that grew up in real rough environments, are really from the streets. Leave that up to the alpha males. We're going to save those. You, Dr. Boyd, are not equipped to do so. You're a bonus dad. You're a beta. You're a sucker. Talk that shit, man. We out of here.